Reckless, and the miners themselves, strong family men who had emigrated from the old country. It often meant conflict.
Been all morning on the road from Charleston. I got a lot bigger thirst than them daisies.
Well, you mustn't get down.
I always like to meet a lady halfway. With them pretty blue eyes. That hits the spot. I'll take it in for you.
No, thank you.
Why don't you just sit a while on that nice shady porch with me?
No, please give it.
I'll settle for a hug and a kiss.
Lisa! Into the house, Lisa. Off with you now, quick.
You know, I never figured that a Cornish miner would have a daughter that pretty.
I said off with you.
No man handles me like that, miner. You know who I am?
No good cowboy scum.
Now, you better apologize or get yourself a gun.
I have no gun. And you're mighty young and reckless to be owning of one yourself.
Don't come any closer, mister. I'll shoot. Now, don't you force me to shoot.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
Warning you, miner. Come on, miner, get up.
The matter's under control, Sheriff. That's the ruffian's weapon.
Now, what's going on?
He was molesting my daughter.
You're a liar. Since when's it a crime to talk to a gal?
You had hold of Lisa. I saw you from the window.
Get her out here and ask her if you don't believe me.
She'll speak her piece in court, not here on a public street. Inside, Lisa.
Mr. Carew, are you having trouble, sir?
Do I understand that you're going to bring charges? You do.
What's going on?
I'm taking this saloon loafer to court for molesting Lisa, for threatening my life with a revolver, and for disturbing the peace. And not one word of that in that paper of yours, do you hear?
The epitaph will publish whatever it sees fit.
If I was a fighting man, I'd like a couple of moments with him.
You're not a fighting man, Johnny. Brawling in the streets is precisely what I'm making an example of him for. Draw up your charges, Sheriff Hollister. I'll be down in an hour to sign them.
Billy.
Lisa. You're not without fault, Lisa. Had you not loitered with that cowboy, he would not have taken liberties.
Sin to talk to a man? To be a good neighbor? Is it right that I should be cooped up in this house all day, allowed only to talk to Cornish men and women? This is America, Papa. Women are not slaves here. They're allowed to marry men of their own choice, not ones their fathers picked out for them.
That's enough, Lisa. Go to your room.
Please, sir.
To your room.
The afternoon of May 12, 1880.
Hi, Clay.
Oh, Frank.
Frank? Get me out of here, Frank.
That's what I'm here for, Billy. Put your hat on. What are you trying to do, Clay? Set an example of us boys from Charleston?
No, Frank. Billy just made a pass to the wrong girl. Daughter of old man Carew, mining superintendent of $1 million.
No need of suspicion of bail bond, Clay. Signed and sealed by Judge Casey, paid for and delivered by Frank McLeod.
Mm-hmm. Let's not try to settle this out of court, Billy.
Well, now, Clay, you know me better than that. I wouldn't start any trouble.
Yeah.
Thanks a heap, friend. You go out and get yourself in trouble real soon so I can return the favor. My hardware, Sheriff.
Oh, since you're not going to be starting any trouble, you won't need it.
Now, wait a minute. What if that old man goes in a prod for me again? Or somebody else starts something?
Jump behind the bar and grab a bottle.
Funny.
Come on, Billy. If you got need of a gun, you won't have trouble scaring one up.
You get through this trial a free man, coming back and pick up your 44 on your way to Charleston.
Okay, Clay. But if I get plugged in croak, it's going to be your fault. And I'll come back and haunt you. She was out there just a sprinkling the daisies, as pretty as you please.
Hey, Billy, somebody outside wants a word with you.
With me?
You're Bashful Billy Clanton, ain't you?
Did you give her a name?
I didn't ask.
Must be Rosie. Hey, see if you can fix me up with that girlfriend of yours from Benson.
Over here, sir.
What are you doing here?
I had to talk to you.
Look, lady, I don't want any more trouble.
I run off from home.
Oh, no, that's just fine.
You will help me, won't you?
Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, you stood up to my pa, didn't you?
Well, now, wait a minute. You're getting this all wrong, ma'am.
You said you wanted to sit on the porch with me. You said you wanted to kiss me.
Shucks, ma'am, I was just talk. I was just sparking around.
You didn't mean it?
Need any help, Billy?
Oh, it's nothing, Frank. I'll be right in.
Afraid I'm gonna beat your time, Billy boy?
I said it was nothing, Frank.
Hey, this is her.
Yeah, now beat it.
What's she doing here?
None of your business.
Why, Billy boy, this sounds serious.
Look, Frank, don't push me too far.
Okay, Billy, I'm sorry. Okay.
I can see what you've done. He's my best friend. You're nothing but trouble. Good girls are nothing but trouble. Now get this straight, ma'am. I can't help you none, so just stay away from me, you understand? Just stay away!
Midnight. Sheriff Hollister had planned to catch a few winks before his late rounds. That's what he had planned.
I'm glad you're here. I was so frightened.
All right, what's the trouble?
I thought he liked me,
You thought who liked you?
Billy Clanton.
What's going on between the two of you?
Nothing. Nothing at all. I was just foolish and stupid. I left home. I've just got to get away, that's all.
Now, running away doesn't help anything.
Well, I'm not going to marry Johnny Coster.
Well, you don't have to marry him if you don't want to.
It's not that easy. See, Mama died when I was little. Papa never would talk about her. I don't know why. Well, he's been the only one to tell me what to do. And he won't allow me to know anybody except Cornish people. I mean, no American girls who go to dances and socials and laugh out loud, bold as you please. Don't you see?
Yeah, everybody gets lonely sometimes.
And now I've been promised to Johnny Coster, just like they do in the old country. Is that the way it's supposed to be for a woman in America? For me?
Everything will look better in the morning. Come on, I'll walk you home.
I'm not going home. I told you that. I just can't stand it with Papa anymore. I'm a human being, and a woman has got to have some rights.
All right. You gonna stay with friends?
I don't have any friends that aren't Papa's friends.
Well, then where are you going to stay?
Here.
No, you can't stay here.
Well, I could stay in there.
Well, you can't stay here. It's a jail, not a rooming house.
Well, where am I going to stay?
Well,
I just didn't know anybody else to come to except you. You're the sheriff.
The morning of May 13, 1880. Johnny Coster was a troubled young man.
Lisa's run off, Sheriff. Bed wasn't slept in all night. Old Carew's fit to be tied.
now take it easy, Johnny. Have some?
Thank you, no. I know it don't mean much to you, Sheriff, but I'm fond of Lisa. I wouldn't want anything to happen to her.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're so concerned about her, seeing that you two are engaged.
How'd you know that?
She told me last night. But I also got the impression that she's, well, not too fond of you.
Where is she?
I'm not sure that you're the man to know.
This is family, Mr. Hollister. You've no right to meddle.
Now, you listen to me, John. Frightened girl came in here last night looking for protection. I'm not about to throw her to the wolves, even if her father is one of them.
Understand this, Mr. Hollister. Lisa's happiness is my only concern.
All right, Lisa, come on in. Miss Carew spent the night at the Palace Hotel, courtesy of the sheriff's office.
I'm not going home, John. I'll do anything, but I'm not going.
Well, what you do now, Lisa's between you and your pa. But there's something else. Something you told Mr. Hollister that's between you and me.
Well, now, look, I'm not very good at peacemaking, but
Answer me straightly. Did you run away because I asked your pa for you to marry me?
Yes.
Don't you like me, Lisa?
Oh, it isn't that. I like you, John.
Well, what is it then?
Well, it's just that you were always Papa's friend. You seem like my uncle. I mean, like my brother. You never even looked at me. You never once told me that you liked me.
Well, then I'm telling you now. I like you. I can't ever think about a woman, but it's you that I'm thinking of. I want you for my wife.
You're just saying that to get me to come home.
No, I swear what I'm telling you is the truth. Come now. I'll take you home to your pa.
No. I have to be sure. If I went home now, I'd never be sure of you, or of myself, or of anything.
he's a good man, Lisa. He's solid, kind.
It's just not the way I heard it was supposed to be.
What is it that you want?
I want to be wanted. Is there anything so wrong in that? I want to be courted and desired. I want men to look at me the way they look at other girls. The way that cowboy looked at me yesterday. I'm sorry. I guess you think I'm shameless.
No, you just got set down in the wrong town. You wait here. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Billy, want a word with you.
Don't let him buffalo you.
I was just picking my teeth, Sheriff. I wasn't even thinking mischief.
What's this between you and Miss Carew?
Who?
Lisa Carew. You know what I'm talking about.
Why, nothing, Sheriff. I never laid eyes on her until yesterday.
Pretty powerful eyes, if you ask me. You're giving her notions.
Notions like what?
Like getting married.
You just right for marriage. Now, hold on a minute, Clay. You got the wrong man. I don't go much for barnyard hens. I like my chicks wild and gamey.
Marriage would do you good. Might tame you down before you got that fool head blown off. Oh, Mr. Carew, you looking for me?
I see you, Hollister. You and this barroom stew bum with your heads together.
There's no place to talk.
I don't want words with you. I want my daughter. I believe you and this cowboy know where she is.
Look, you buzzard, I've had just about as much out of you as I can take.
Don't be yelling at me, you scum. I'll settle with you in court.
That's it. That's enough. Billy, you and Frank go inside. You better go home, Mr. Carew.
Where's my daughter, Hollister?
In my office,
In your office, eh?
under protective custody.
And is that where she spent the night, Sheriff Hollister? Under your custody?
Why, you evil-minded old man. Come on, we're gonna settle this right now.
With pleasure, Sheriff.
Well, you don't carry a gun. What am I supposed to do?
There's many ways, Billy, if you got a mind for it.
Well, I got a mind. Just don't see how.
Drink up, friend. You want to get the picture real clear.
I get the picture. Real clear.
Lisa, I've come to take you home. For the last time, will you or will you not come home with me?
I'll not marry John, Papa. I'll not.
After last night, I doubt if he'd want to marry you. Come.
No.
Do you know what would happen to you in the old country? You'd be driven from the house and never permitted to return. I'm giving you this second chance, your last chance. Are you coming?
I've always been good, Papa, and obedient. Don't you care what I want? Don't you care about me?
Care about you? The only thing I have in this world? Come home, Lisa.
I'm afraid to go home. Afraid not to.
What?
I'm afraid I'd end up hating you.
Hating me. Lisa, I will tell you something about your mother.
Excuse me.
You remember your mother, Lisa?
Yes, a little bit.
She was like you, pretty, restless, headstrong. But she never died like I always told you she did. She left me. Ran off with a seafaring man with a handsome face and a sun-browned skin and a swagger to his walk. A young man like your cowboy, Lisa. Yes, I have been strict with you. But I wanted to raise you so you wouldn't turn out like her. Maybe that's where I was wrong. If I have made a mistake, I pray the good Lord will forgive me.
I'm going to go home, Sheriff.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Yes, I want to.
About the cowboy, Sheriff Hollister, I think I better drop the charges.
I'm glad.
I'm sorry to have been such a bother, really. Thank you.
Hey, how about my bottle?
Oh, excuse me! Sure get the picture real clear. Mr. Carew!
Wait here, Lisa.
I'd like a public apology, sir, in front of my friends.
Well, I'm not pressing charges against you, young man. I hope that will satisfy you.
It does not, sir. You linked my name in a scandalous fashion with your daughter. And I'm not about to sink so low as to have truck with minors. Or minors' daughters. This time, old man, I'm gonna kill you. Better go get yourself a gun.
I've never used a gun in my life, but I'd like to get my fingers around your living throat.
You better learn how to use one quick.
Let him alone. You're drunk, and he's an old man.
Off the battlefield, miner, or make your fight mine.
Johnny, take Lisa home.
I'll not be leaving you for dead, Mr. Carew.
Pick up the gun, old man.
No, Papa.
Keep her there, Johnny.
I'm giving you more than a fair chance, old man. I'm gonna wait until you point the gun at me before I draw. Now go ahead and pick it up!
Clay, come on. Come on running.
No, Papa!
I had hopes for you, Billy. But you're nothing but a worthless troublemaker. You almost killed a man. If you ever make trouble in Tombstone again, I'll stop you again. So help me, I'll stop you good.
Oh, you all right, John?
It hurts, but I live.
Oh, John, I'm sorry. But I'm sure of a lot of things now. A lot of things that I wasn't before.
May 20, 1880. An important event was about to take place in the Carew home. So, folk, we're late.
I gotta wear a tie.
Oh, all duded up. How does it feel to be best man at a wedding?
Too close for comfort?
Funny, wasn't it?
What's it?
Lisa couldn't even see Johnny until he picked up that gun. And all of a sudden, he's her kind of man.
Oh, what women do, I don't even try to reason out. Next time I go to be a peacemaker between a man and his woman, grab me a hold of the coattails, will you?
You better get down to Rosie's place, Clay. She just took a shot at her new man.
Oh! Have you forgotten already?
Is he hurt bad?
No, just a scratch. But he's holed up in the Baptist church and don't dast to come out.
You tell him to stay there until after Johnny Custer's wedding is over. How's that?
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be, 'cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Hello, can I help you?
You Miss Nellie Cashman?
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm a friend of Bill Doolan's, and he told me his wife Katie was staying here. I got a message for her.
Well, Bill can tell her himself. He'll be in on the 1 o'clock stage in just a few minutes.
Well, that's part of the message, ma'am. Bill ain't gonna be on it.
Well, why? Has something happened?
No, there's just a little delay. He'll be in on a later stage.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll tell her.
Well, the rest of the message is kind of personal, ma'am, and Bill, he wanted me to tell her that part of it myself, personally.
It's number 7, just down the hall. Harris, you were eavesdropping.
Mm-hmm.
For the news, of course.
Oh, of course.
Well, at least you're honest. Bill. You're not Bill.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
Early afternoon, July 29, 1886. Hello, Clay.
Oh, Harris. What can I do for the mighty epitaph today?
Well, I'm doing a story on Bill Doolan. Thought you might like to make a statement for me.
All right. Bill Doolan's welcome.
Is that all?
That's it.
Well, I hope you can spare it. Look, you're the one who sent him off to jail, Clay.
Well, look, Harris, I've got nothing against Bill. He's done his 5 years, he's clean, and he's welcome. When I see him, I'll let him know. But if you're really hurting for a story, why don't you talk to Mr. Willison?
Mr. Willison?
He's the federal attorney who's going to prosecute Ab Clinton for murder.
Oh, I've done that story to death, Clay. Everything about it, including the fact that you're the chief witness against Ab. It's old stuff. No offense to you, Mr. Willison.
What's the matter, Harris? Things too dull for you? Me, I like 'em that way.
Well, there's the 1 o'clock stage.
Come on!
Mrs. Doolan here?
Well, you must be Bill Doolan. Hello, I'm so glad to know you. Katie's spoken of you so often.
Is she here?
Well, no, she isn't. I think she left with that friend of yours, the man who brought the message that you wouldn't be on the 1 o'clock stage.
I was on the stage and I sent no message.
You do that. You better come with me, Doolan.
What do you want?
Ain't nothing I want. If you want to see your wife again, you better come with me.
taken to a shack a short ride from Tombstone.
So you're Doolin.
That's right.
We've got your wife. Oh, she's safe.
Who are you?
Clinton is the name. This is my boy Joe. I've got another boy named Ab. He's in jail in Tombstone.
I don't see as how this has anything to do with me.
My boy Ab is up on a murder charge. They say he killed a man. Oh, he did it. But he isn't going to hang. They've only got one witness, the sheriff. And if he doesn't get to court, they've got no case. I want you to see that the sheriff doesn't testify.
I'm not doing your dirty work.
Maybe I didn't make it clear. It'll be your wife or the sheriff, one or the other.
Why me? Why not him?
This is a job for a man, not a boy.
What do you mean? I can take care of that sheriff.
Have you seen those graves out on Boot Hill? A lot of them are filled with men that thought they were better than the sheriff.
Well, I don't care nothing about that.
You'll do as I say. You were right, Mr. Doolin. A man ought to do his dirty work himself. But I've got one boy up for murder and the other itching for a kill. If this isn't done right, they'll both be dead. Killed or hanged. I don't like what I'm doing, but I see no other way. And when this is done, I'm going to take my boys back home to Chicago. I don't like it, Doolin, but this is the way it's got to be.
Where is Katie?
Put away. Safe. You get the sheriff. You'll get her back.
I got no reason to kill Hollister.
Sent your way, didn't he? You came back to get him. Nobody's going to blame you if it's a fair draw. It's got to be the way I say. Your wife or the sheriff.
Do you want it done?
Now.
If anything happens to Katie, I'll get you. And him.
Doolin had his orders. In Tombstone, the grim stage was set.
Hi, Bill.
What's Doolin up to?
Bill, welcome back to Tombstone.
Hollister, you're a crawbelly coward. Hiding behind a badge.
You gonna take that? Or are you gonna be man enough to try to do something about it?
Well, what's eating on you, Bill?
Draw your gun, Hollister.
Oh, now, hold on.
Make your play.
No. You're not pushing me into a gunfight.
Bill, no! You've got to think of Katie. This isn't going to do any good.
You've got 24 hours to get out of Tombstone.
You ever see a quicker draw than that?
The morning of July 30. The epitaph had already gone to press. Bill Doolin is welcome in Tombstone, says Sheriff Hollister. Makes a fine story, doesn't it? You welcome a gunman, he turns around and tries to kill you. The town's concerned. I think you ought to make a statement.
I already made one. It still stands.
Are you serious?
I am.
Well, it doesn't make sense.
No,
Clay.
it doesn't, Harris, and that's what worries me. Why does Bill Doolin want to kill me?
I don't know. The point is he does. The other point is, what are you going to do about it?
Try to find out why.
The people are scared, Clay, and I don't blame them. They need reassurance from you.
Such as what?
Such as what? A man embittered by 5 years in prison tries to kill you. A sensible man would simply put him in jail where he belongs.
Well, I'll do that if it's necessary, but I'm not ready yet. Something about this just doesn't add up.
You're a stubborn mule.
Mule, huh? Print that and I'll sue you for libel.
I might just win.
When I told Bill about the stranger, all he said was that he had never sent a message to Katie.
Well, do you know who the stranger was?
No, I never saw him before in my life. And the funny thing is that Katie never came to pick any clothes up.
Did Katie talk much about Bill?
All the time.
Did you get the impression that he was bitter?
No. As a matter of fact, she showed me one of his letters once. In it, he said how glad he was that the old life was over with and how happy he was to be starting a new one.
Yeah, but to the best of your knowledge, did he hold a grudge against me?
No. Well, Katie never said anything, but Clay, I'm sure he didn't.
He said that they had plans for a new life. Do you know what they were?
Katie had bought a few acres out by Willow Creek. When Bill came back, he was going to farm it and eventually get a few head of cattle. There was nothing on that property but a little old shack.
Thanks for all the help.
Be careful, Clay. Bill is fast.
Yeah, we know that, don't we?
From a storage room above Allen Street, the Clintons kept a close check on Clay Hollister.
Take it easy.
Sheriff ain't packing his gun. How come?
That way, maybe he thinks Doolin won't shoot him.
Hollister seems about to visit Doolin. You circle around, beat him there.
I got something else to do.
Get moving. Get at it. Hello, Bill. I've come for an explanation.
You got till sunset to get out of town.
What are you trying to prove?
The deadline's sunset.
Look, I rode out here without a gun because
you knew I wouldn't shoot a man that was unarmed.
Because I want you to see that we haven't got any differences. Why do you want to shoot me?
I got no choice. It's Katie's life or yours. I got no choice.
Noon, July 30, 1886. The sheriff's authority had been challenged. Fear began to snake its way through the people of Tombstone. If Clay Hollister couldn't stop the threat of a gunman, what chance did the people have? Things are out of hand, Clay. You've got no choice. You've got to jail Doolin. You've just got to. Living 5 years with a grudge must have twisted his mind.
Oh, he's not twisted, Harris. You don't understand. He said something about my life or Katie's.
Well, I'm trying to understand. I'm especially trying to understand you.
Hello, Clay. Did you want to see me?
Yeah.
Hello, Harris.
Hello, that stranger that came to see Katie. Did he look like a Clinton?
Well, I don't know the Clintons.
What about you, Harris? Could that have been Ab's brother?
Well, he didn't look like Ab.
I think there was a brother.
Wait a minute. seems to me...
Seems to you what?
That Ab Clinton threw a big party, a sort of a family reunion. Sure he did. 3 years ago. Even had a picture taken at Ebel's studio on Tough Nut Street. I'm going to check the epitaph file.
We'll meet you at Ebel's.
You gotta excuse me, Sheriff, but it's been almost 3 years. These files get sloppy.
The picture, Sam.
Man, you'd think it was a matter of life and death.
It is.
The picture.
There it is. The Clinton party.
That's the man who brought the message to Katie.
Name is Joseph Clinton.
Here it is. I found it. Present at the party honoring Ab Clinton was his brother Joseph, who hails from Phoenix. Also present was his father William Clinton, who came all the way from Chicago, where he figures prominently on the wheat exchange in that city.
Yeah, that's old man Clinton.
The Clintons have Katie.
You'd better arrest the father and Joe. Start a posse searching.
No, by the time you got to Katie, she'd be dead. The Clintons have you very neatly trapped.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to have another talk with Doolin.
Look, I'm a friend of Katie's. Maybe I...
No.
Oh, what about me? I'll go. But what'll I say to Doolin?
We'll have to figure that out.
I tried to tell him. He wouldn't listen.
I like Bill.
I'll try again.
Whiskey.
Joe has Katie in a room looking down on the street. If you don't get Hollister, she'll never leave that room. If you kill him, get on your horse and ride out to the shack. Half an hour later, we'll put Katie on a horse and send her after you. Let's go.
As soon as I finish my drink.
What were you talking about?
He tried to sell me a subscription to the epitaph.
The afternoon of July 30, 1886. 24 hours had passed. It was obvious Clay Hollister was not leaving Tombstone.
Did you speak to Bill?
I talked to him, but I don't know what he'll do.
You can't gun a sheriff and get away with it, Bill.
Draw.
You got no reason.
Draw!
Bring him to my house.
Now you just keep your mouth shut and you'll see your husband.
Here, put him on the table. Take this gun.
Somebody go and get a doctor, quickly. Thank you very much. We can manage now.
Boy, he is fast.
I'm glad he listened and missed.
Yeah.
Hey, Hollister, do you mean to say that you planned this whole thing with Bill Doolin?
Clay.
Well, it looks that way.
Clay, they've got Katie upstairs above the barber shop.
It's my part of the deal.
Katie?
Mm-hmm.
To see me, Clay?
Yeah, Billy, I want you to sign a complaint.
Against who?
Father of the Clinton boys. Walker, bring in Mr. Clinton.
What happens to the old man now?
Conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping, a life sentence for sure. Take off your hat. Can you identify him as the man who plotted the whole thing?
I've been to jail. I can't be responsible for putting a man behind bars, no matter what he's trying to do to me.
Maybe it doesn't matter. He's got a conscience.
Old man Clinton went home without his sons. Tombstone never saw him again.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone.
I don't want any trouble. So just sit easy. You won't get hurt.
If this is a holdup, you're in for a big disappointment.
A few minutes of your time. That's all I want.
Considering the circumstances, I guess I'm in no position to refuse. Maybe you better sit down.
All the best people are wearing them these days. It's the latest fashion at the Yuma prison.
Vince Harper.
Changed some. Not for the better. Lost a few pounds. 5 years of my life. And a lot of faith in humanity.
Why'd you come to me, Vince?
You've got to help me. I didn't kill Frank Carney.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
The morning of June 19, 1885.
Sheriff Hollister?
That's right.
I'm Dan Kirby, captain of the prison guard at Yuma.
Oh, good to meet you, Kirby. You, kind of strayed off your stamping ground, haven't you?
If you're saying I'd rather be home eating breakfast, you're right. Ed and me's been in the saddle for 10 hours.
Well, I don't guess this is a social call, then.
We're hunting one of your former citizens, Vince Harper.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Murdered a man named Frank Carney about 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I remember. That was just before I got here. Got a life sentence, didn't he?
The jailbird got tired of being locked up. Broke out 4 days ago.
And you think he might be in this area?
Tracked him to Tucson. He was headed this way.
Well, maybe there's some truth in that old story about a killer always returning to the scene of his crime.
I don't know about that. But I'll catch up with him. You can bet on it.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
I ain't lost a man so far. Some run fast, some run slow. But I always catch up with them. One way or another, they all go back to Yuma.
What's that supposed to mean?
The prison gives me $50 for every prisoner I bring back alive. If they resist and I have to kill them, I get an extra 50 for my trouble. You'd be surprised how many men would rather resist than go back to a nice, safe cell.
Well, from what I've heard of your little jail, I can't blame them.
They've broken the law, and that means they've got to pay for it.
I'll keep an eye out for Harper.
Telegraph me. I'll be checking the border area around Naco.
Be glad to.
Appreciate your cooperation, Sheriff. Let's get moving, Ed.
Morning, Harris.
Oh, Clay.
Kind of early in the day for you to have your nose stuck in such a big book, isn't it?
These are the court records of the Vince Harper trial.
Yeah, I know. I was just over to the courthouse looking for them. Seth Adams told me you'd borrowed them.
Yeah, well, I wanted to brush up on the case a little. His escape is news.
How'd you hear about that so fast?
Well, I've got my sources, too. I never did believe Harper was guilty. The more I study these court records, the more I'm sure of it.
Well, the judge and jury disagreed with you.
Well, mistakes have been made before. Any particular reason you want to see those, Clay?
Yeah, there's a fellow by the name of Dan Kirby. He's captain of the Yuma Guards here looking for him.
Oh, what happens if you find him?
I'll turn him over to Kirby. Thought these records might help me locate him. Find out who his friends were.
Well, Vince had a lot of friends. He was a well-liked man.
Until he started drinking. That made him belligerent, aggressive.
Oh, that's true.
Got him into a lot of fights.
Well, in my opinion, that still doesn't add up to murder.
I don't know much about the trial. What was the murder all about?
A fight. He and his partner had a fight over the Oriental. Had to be separated.
Yeah, it says here that later on the Dickersons found Harper standing over Carney's body with a gun in his hand.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, now, look, Harris, you know better than I do. You can go back and check the records of any trial and find reason to believe a man's guilty or innocent. But this one, I don't know.
You ever seen the inside of Yuma prison, Clay?
No.
A row of black caves, complete with iron doors and chains. Must be bad enough for a guilty man. But for an innocent one.
Well, I'm willing to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. This time I agree with the verdict.
All the evidence didn't come out at the trial, Clay. There was a missing witness. A dance hall girl named Laura Coleman. She could prove that Harper didn't kill Carney. He couldn't have. She had his gun. Harper gave her his gun.
Where'd you get that information?
I could have gotten it out of there.
Oh, Mr. Clyburn, something I can do for you?
I need a little information. Do you remember a girl named Laura Coleman? Used to work here about 5 years ago.
Nope, can't say that I do. Walton High may be able to help you, though.
Laura Coleman? Sure, I remember her. Pretty girl, as I recall. Left town, several years ago.
Do you know where she went?
No.
Hard telling. A girl like that don't generally leave a forwarding address.
No, I guess not.
Oh, that guard from Yuma was in. Any news yet on the whereabouts of Harper, Mr. Clyburn?
No. Seems to be quite a mystery, doesn't it?
Don't imagine it can happen quick enough for Walton Howie. It was mainly their testimony that convicted him.
A man under oath's got to speak the truth, you know. Howie and me just did what we had to. We found him standing over the body with a gun in his hand.
What I don't understand is why he came back here in the first place.
Hard to say. Seems to me if he was guilty, this would be the last place he'd show up.
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Just a thought.
Well, Harper don't scare me none. Would me. 5 years in prison can warp a man's thinking. No telling what he has on his mind.
Could be he escaped prison to get revenge. Seems to me the fight started over a poker game. Do you remember who else besides Harper was in the game with Carney the night of the murder?
Oh, let's see. There was Lou Knowlton, Mike Craig, and Howie and Walt. Yeah, Walt was one of the big losers.
I guess it was kind of lucky Vince Harper got caught so quick. Otherwise, you two might have had some tall explaining to do.
You got a big mouth, Editor. If you don't keep it closed, I'll earmark you. Just like one of my steers.
Now, you don't want to get into any more trouble.
What do you mean, more trouble?
Give me a bottle of whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Oh, put it in a sack, will you?
Anything you say, Mr. Clyburn.
Good day, gentlemen.
Oh, Mr. Clyburn. I appreciate your business.
night of June 19, 1885.
I was a fool to come back. Should have headed for Mexico.
And remained a fugitive for the rest of your life.
I'll die before I go back to Yuma. I'm not going back.
With that new information you've given me about Laura Coleman, we got something to work on.
I know I gave her the gun. I know it!
I think you've had enough for tonight, Vince.
Not near enough.
Look, Vince, I'm trying to help you.
It's too late. 5 years too late. I should have thought about Laura at the time of the trial.
Well, if you hadn't been drinking so heavily the night of the murder, you'd have remembered what happened. Seems to me you'd have learned a lesson. Now, that's enough for tonight.
Now, wait a minute, Harris.
You wait a minute.
Nobody tells me.
It's a dangerous thing I'm trying to do for you. You came to me for help, and I think you're innocent. But don't go giving me a bad time.
Sorry. I guess that got me into enough trouble. But I needed it tonight, Harris. After Yuma, I needed it.
In here, quick. I'll be right with you.
Oh, Harris.
Well, hey, glad you dropped by. Come on in.
Thanks. Well, what's the matter? Business so bad that you've taken to drink?
Is there anything in particular you want to see me about, Clay?
Yeah, I wanted to get some more information about that missing witness, Laura. All right, Harris, what's going on?
Well...
Now, stop playing around and tell me the truth.
I have nothing to tell you, Clay.
Well, let's talk about Vince Harper.
All right, what do you want to know?
He hasn't been found yet. I got an idea that somebody is shielding him. No matter what the reason, that's still harboring a criminal.
Clay, we've known each other a long time. Long enough to trust each other.
Yeah, I thought so, too. Looks like I was wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong about Harper. Just this once, as a favor to me, forget what you know.
I'm sorry you asked that.
I'll be personally responsible. Just give me a little time to uncover some facts.
Where is he, Harris?
Clay, he's innocent. I know he is. Give me just 1 day to find out.
You've turned up some new evidence?
Yes, I think I have. And if I can find Laura Coleman, she can prove that Harper didn't kill Connie.
It's kind of late in the day to be pulling witnesses out of the hat, isn't it?
Vince was drunk that night. At the trial, he couldn't remember what happened. But he knows now. He knows he couldn't have killed Carney because he gave Laura Coleman his gun. Give me just a little time to find her.
I'm sorry, Harris. I've got a job to do.
Well, I've got a job to do, too. A newspaper has a duty to fight injustice and stand up for people who have no one else to turn to. Vince will die before he goes back to Yuma prison. Give me 1 day. 1 day to find out what happened to that girl. Where is Dan Kirby?
He's in Naco.
But it'll take 24 hours for you to notify him and for him to get back. Give me those 24 hours, Clay. I'll vouch for Vince. I give you my word.
You better be right, Harris.
During the next 24 hours, I tried desperately to get a line on Laura Coleman. I questioned a number of the townspeople, but nobody knew of her whereabouts. She seemed to have vanished. The night of June 20, 1885. The 24 hours had passed. Come in.
Time's up, Harris. I've got to take him into custody.
Clay, give me just a little more time.
We made a bargain, remember?
Vince? Vince?
All right, where is he?
I don't know. He can't have gone far. I was talking with him just a few minutes
ago. If he gets away, I'm going to have to bring charges against you.
You don't think I planned this, do you?
Did you?
June 21, 1885. Dan Kirby had returned to Tombstone to pick up his prisoner.
A convicted killer, and you let him walk the streets. What kind of a lawman are you?
You've gone too far, Hollister. People won't stand still for this. You can bet on it.
I'm responsible for that. I needed time to find a missing witness.
I spend a week trailing a killer, and you let him go loose?
I think you spent a week trailing an innocent man.
Innocent? Every cutthroat in prison claims he's innocent.
All right, you're wasting time. Harper couldn't have gone far. Let's go get him.
I've had enough out of you, Hollister. From now on, I'll handle this myself.
Well, what happened to you?
A fella jumped me just outside of town. Took my horse and gun.
What do you look like?
Tall, thin, no hat, and a wild look in his eyes.
That's Harper, all right. Which direction did he head?
South, toward the border.
All right, Harris, you got any more suggestions?
Clay,
I'm in quite a hole, Mr. Editor, and so are you.
Clay, I'm sorry about this, but I still don't think that Vince...
You didn't think he'd run out either.
You better go have a doctor look at that.
Mr. Claiborne?
Yes? Something I can do for you?
I'd say it was the other way around. I'm Mrs. Andrews.
Mrs. Andrews?
Laura Coleman. Is something wrong?
No. It's just not every day I come back to my office and find the answer to a prayer.
I'd hardly say I was that. I read about Vince in the newspaper in Tucson. I just couldn't live with myself any longer, that's all.
Well, that doesn't concern us now.
I let a man go to prison because I was afraid for my own life.
Well, you're here now. That's what counts. Come on inside. Mrs. Andrews, Vince Harper claims that on the night of the murder, he gave you his gun.
That's right. He was drinking and unreasonable. When he left the Oriental, I followed him out and I made him give it to me.
Well, did he come back later and get it?
No.
Miss Andrews, what did happen to the gun?
Walt and Howie Dickerson took it from me. They said they'd give it back to him later.
Well, that's it. Now we've got something to go on. First thing we'll do is see the sheriff and tell him your story. And then we'll pay a little visit to the Dickersons.
Couldn't you do that without me?
Miss Andrews, Vince Harper has spent 5 years of his life in prison for a crime he didn't commit. I can understand your fear, but you should have come forward at the trial.
I was afraid to testify at the trial. The morning after the murder, I received a note with $100 in it. All it said was, "Leave town, or we'll kill you."
Well, nothing's going to happen to you now. But if we don't find Vince Harper, he may be a dead man. 2 guards from Yuma prison are tracking him down right now, and if he resists, they'll kill him. Come with me.
One thing. Why did you finally come back to Tombstone after all this time? Conscience?
That had something to do with it, not all.
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand.
I'm married now. I have a home, a lovely daughter. All the things I never thought I could have. My husband doesn't know about my past. And for 5 years, I've been afraid that someone would recognize me and tell him. Now I want to tell him myself. But first, I have to help Vince. He's been in prison because of me.
Lee, have you seen the Dickersons?
An hour ago, they were in the Oriental.
Let's go to the Oriental.
Hello, Walt. Howie. Don't you remember me?
I thought you had more sense than to come back here.
You scared me out of town once. It won't happen again.
That's where you're wrong.
Maybe we ought to take a little walk and talk this out. Don't you think so, Howie?
A fine idea.
Take your hands off the lady, Howie.
This ain't your business, Hollister.
I'm making it my business. You're both under arrest.
For what?
Murder of Frank Carney.
You're loco. Everybody knows Vince Harper killed him.
Everybody but Laura.
Whatever she told you is a lie.
Sure it is. Nobody believe a cheap dance hall girl.
Vince couldn't have done it, and you know it. You had his gun.
Well, I guess there's enough new evidence to reopen the case.
You're not locking me up, Hollister.
That's up to you, Howie.
Take him, Howie.
Hold it, Walt.
Well, there's one Dickerson won't be going to jail. Now we better find Vince before Kirby does.
I'll take care of things here.
Well, which way now? I don't know, but it better be the right one. That Kirby's trigger happy. He wants that double pay.
Hope that's not what I think it is.
Hold your fire. Get out.
Stay out of this, Hollister. I don't want to lose him this time.
Harper is innocent. We've got proof.
Now look, I don't want any more interference. I'm going to take him the way he's asking. Dead.
You can't kill an innocent man. Give me a chance to talk to him.
That might be dangerous, Harris. You might think it's a trap.
Vince knows me and trusts me. He'll believe me.
You'll get a bullet for your trouble.
Harris! Vince! It's me, Harris. I want to talk to you. You won't need that gun anymore, Vince. Give it to me.
I'm not going back, Harris. I'd rather die here than at Yuma.
You don't have to go back, Vince. Laura Coleman showed up. She's identified the real killers.
Don't you come any closer, Harris.
Howie Dickerson is dead. The sheriff has Walt Dickerson in a cell right now.
How do I know you're telling the truth?
Have I ever lied to you, Vince? You'll just have to trust me. It's all right, Clay. I convinced him. June 24, 1885. After one of the shortest trials in Tombstone history, Walt Dickerson was on his way to Yuma Prison.
I got a different man, but at least I won't be going back empty-handed.
You got the right man.
Well, I'm not the type to say I told you so, but I did.
All right, Harris.
I'm kind of glad to be leaving Tombstone. You fellas run your town mighty peculiar.
Well, at least one of the Dickersons going back to serve out Vince Harper's term.
Yuma Prison. I wonder if the one on Boot Hill isn't better off.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be, whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Where are the other faceless ones? Where is Santiago? Where is he hidden?
Comandante Nexor, ¿cómo está?
Señorita Marta Teresa. Where is the man you told me about? You call this a man? This is a boy.
What would you call me if I brought in Santiago? A boy or a man?
A miracle worker. A hero.
I can get him for you. If you want him badly enough to make it worth my while.
Badly enough. Only the simple fact of his body can convince these superstitious campesinos that he's truly dead. I can fight a man. I cannot fight a myth. Santiago. In person. Dead or alive. 20,000 pesos reward.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened. In the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
The night of October 13, 1886. Los Sin Cara, the faceless ones, had reached Tombstone. The territory was to become the unwilling host to the desperate fighters for freedom, or bandits, depending on who you believed.
Wonder who they are.
I don't know yet.
Need any help?
No, just stand by.
Senor Clay Hollister?
See?
We are Los Sin Cara. Santiago, our leader, said you would know us by his ring.
They sure look done in. Bet they haven't had any food or water for a couple of days.
Santiago, the leader of the faceless ones. You know him, Clay?
Yeah, we were schoolmates. Looks like you came across the border to get away from Nexer. What do you want in Tombstone? We need provisions. Santiago said you were his friend, that you would let us go on. Others might turn us back to Nexer to collect the reward. I can't let you stay in the territory. We're hungry. We need food.
It's the emptiest wagon I ever looked into. Poor fellows just about sold their saddles.
Where'll you go? As far as we can. We won't stay in Tombstone territory. This I promise you. You understand that I've got to uphold the law. I can't let you through carrying your guns. It's the law of the trail. We don't turn a man loose without a gun to protect himself. I'm sorry. Bueno, Santiago would not go against you. Los rifles, muchachos.
That it? All except our knives.
That's good enough for me.
We're very grateful, Senor Hollister.
Santiago. Where is he now?
No matter where one is, one's friends are always close. Santiago is with you now. Muchas gracias, amigos.
Adiós.
Vamos, muchachos. ¡Viva los centauros! ¡Viva!
The morning of October 14, 1886, Charlie Petrie made a grim discovery.
Yeah, it's blood. I guess that wagon wasn't so empty after all.
False bottom?
Had to be. Guess Santiago was closer than I thought. They must have been carrying him in the wagon.
Yeah. Badly wounded, too.
Harris, this could be real trouble. If Santiago's as badly off as all that blood seems to indicate, they can't take him far. They'll have to hide him around here, in the territory.
Yeah, and if Nexer finds out, he'll raid in after him for sure.
I better get to Santiago first.
In the afternoon, the trail split, and the marks showed the Mexicans had divided their party. The three horsemen had cut off towards Mexico, undoubtedly in a try to slip across the border. But the wagon tracks continued. Clay Hollister knew they must have headed for the shelter of the Rocky Hills. It was a natural spot for an ambush.
Aguilar? Move, senor. Do not make me kill you. Follow a trail like a bloodhound. You're on the run with Santiago. He has stopped running. And so have I. Now that I know we must stop, I have decided to bring you to him. You trust me? Implicitly. Now the gun belt.
Clay Hollister had found his friend and former Academy classmate, the guerrilla hero who, armed only with the dream of democracy and freedom, had fought the military despot, Comandante Nexer.
Santiago.
Would that we could march again at our academy, amigo. Tell me, did I wear my uniform well?
Your uniform's what you believe.
Thank you for what you have done.
I didn't do anything.
This, in itself, is an act of friendship.
Let me get you a doctor, Santiago.
No use.
Well, is there anything I can do?
There is. Can I ask an old friend a favor? My young brother, Juan, a boy. I was to take care of him. I gave him nothing. No legacy.
Your fight for your people's freedom's a legacy.
Find him, Clay. Only you can do it. Bring him up to me. Before I die. To try to make him understand.
But I don't know where to look.
Aguilar knows.
No, Santiago, no. Must not let him know where you are.
Juan. Juanito.
Where is he? Listen to me, senor. The boy's dirt. He's a weakling. He's dangerous. Take the guns back. Look for him at the cantina in Naco.
desperate race against time for a friend. And the prize was a few words to be exchanged between brothers before death claimed the stakes. October 15, 1886.
Oye, mozo.
Give me a chance. Let me show you what love is for its own sake.
Leave me alone.
I want to dance with you.
There's no music.
You're my muse.
And you're a foolish child. You are Senor Clay Hollister?
See?
You asked to see me? Drink?
No, no drink. Just talk.
Drink 5 centavos. Just talk 20.
I'm looking for a man named Juan.
My life is full of Juans.
Well, maybe this will help you concentrate on the one that I'm looking for.
Suddenly I like you. You may speak about yourself for nothing.
My only interest is Juan, whose brother is Santiago.
Los sin cara?
See.
You lied to me. You told me you were looking for a man. Wait.
I think I'm wasting my time.
What's your hurry?
Santiago's dying.
I'm sorry. I was just being cautious.
Cautious about what?
Well, I thought you might be one of Comandante Nexo's glorious tricks. Santiago's brother would be killed on sight.
Then you can reach him.
Give me a little time.
All right. There's a dry wash about a mile from here that forks over the border. I'll wait there until sunup.
Silence. It's golden.
$20,000. I am an army all by myself, and you offer me that?
How many men do you want? 40? I'll give you 4.
I want none. I go in by myself. I bring him back by myself. Me, alone.
Alone? And if I say no?
Then, Comandante, you will never find him.
It angers me to hear a boy talk like a man.
I'll show you the kind of a man that I am.
All right, Martha, listen to your boy, a regular torero, a matador.
He offers to bring you the bull's ears, Comandante.
Does he know he has to get past the horns to get to them?
Are you interested in bullfighting or the capture of Santiago?
I want Santiago as the main attraction at the fiesta in the plaza.
Then I'll bring him to you at my price.
20,000 pesos. Dead or alive, but in the plaza.
80,000 pesos. You offer me 20,000 and the use of 4 men. Going alone makes me 4 times as brave.
And you can perform as spectacularly as you boast, huh?
Try me.
Oh, adoro.
Done. Payment on delivery. Hey, Matador.
Simple answer to a simple question. How do you expect to find and catch the famous Santiago?
He has sent for me. He is my brother.
October 16, 1886. Juan was on his way to meet Clay Hollister. Commandante Nexar also had a mission.
You promised Juan that you would not follow him. He gave you his word that he would bring in Santiago alone.
What good is the word of an animal that believes in nothing? If he betray his own brother, what can I expect from him?
Can he still expect the reward?
Of course, as long as he leads me to Santiago.
Who's the man who came for him?
A man.
Exert yourself, senorita. Struggle to remember his name.
I will try.
Do so.
Juan, brother Santiago?
See. Prove it.
Those were the days. We had a ranch, many cattle.
But these revolutionary ideas of Santiago, they took everything away.
We better hurry.
We had everything. We were genuine caballeros, aristocrats.
Everybody has to make a choice, Juan.
But what kind of a choice is that? To end up dying like a wounded beast in a strange land.
Aguilar doesn't trust you. I can see why.
It was night when Clay fulfilled the promise to his old friend. And for Santiago, there would be no morning. This was the end of a hero, a lost and lonely man crying for his brother's understanding.
To think it had to end like this.
Aguilar.
Do not leave me, Santiago. Do not leave me.
Bury me in secret. And what we believe in will never leave you.
Listen to me.
No. You hear me, Juanito. It troubles me. The legacy I promised. No land. No cattle. Not even a thing to believe in. At least, I could have left you that.
You call that a legacy? Look what it brought you.
But it is all I have. There is no other legacy.
There is more. There is.
Cobarde! No, let my brother talk.
Santiago, mi hermano, try to understand the logic. There is 80,000 pesos reward on your head, dead or alive. Santiago, you are dying. Let me take in your body. Your crazy dream is over. What difference will it make? Let the reward be my legacy.
Santiago!
He is dead.
He's dead.
You do this? He is dead. What difference does it make?
You gotta understand this. Nexor mustn't find that body. If he does and he drags your brother through the streets, everything that Santiago lived and died for is dragged in the dust. But if he doesn't find that body, he can never prove that Santiago's dead.
I asked him. I begged him for the legacy.
You think getting permission changes what you did?
Juan, we're here.
You are right, but you are too late.
You did betray him.
We know you're in there. Come out.
Cobarde, perro!
You want to die here, too? You want to take Santiago's orders?
Give up. Why should you die like this for nothing, too?
We still got a chance to save the body, if I can stall for time.
What is the matter with you, Juan?
Come. Come here.
Come out!
Listen, get the blanket roll off the other horse. Go out the back way. And hurry. Wait. Let Juan see you.
Come out! All we want is Santiago.
Oh, you want your blood money. Your 80,000 pesos.
Sí, señor. Sí.
Let's see you work for it.
Easy, señor. Easy, señor. Please.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! You say, Comandante, I got Santiago for you.
Dead, I suppose.
You agree, dead or alive, what difference does it make?
That's right. What difference does it make? You're nothing but a traitor. Santiago was my enemy, but at least I respected him.
I am a patriot, Comandante.
A patriot believes in something. You believe in nothing but yourself and this.
Malta, my legacy. This is for you. This is what you wanted.
What good is it to you? The money won't keep you alive. Because of Clay Hollister, Los Incada will know. It is very dangerous to be near a traitor who is marked for revenge. You're not a patriot. You're a dead dog.
Comandante, I am loyal. Believe me. How can I prove it to you?
By keeping your part of the bargain. Santiago's in there, we are here. You betrayed your brother. I want to make sure you do not trick me.
He is in there. Come, I will show you.
Comandante Nexo.
At your services, Sheriff Hollister.
What do you want?
I have business with this man. He's a countryman of mine. It is no affair of yours.
It is my affair if you're raiding across the border into Tombstone territory.
I'm going to take what's inside. It is valueless to you. It is priceless to me.
Well, what if I don't let you?
Then I'm afraid I'm going to have to run the risk of your body being found in this wilderness before I get back across the border.
Some choice.
Give me your guns.
All right. You have my word.
Inside.
You see, Comandante? I keep my word.
You tricked me.
No.
Traitor, you tricked me.
No! A mistake! They tricked me too! Tell them I was loyal to.
Loyal to what?
Clay Hollister had succeeded in his mission. Where Aguilar buried Santiago, nobody knows. But there's a legend you can hear in the hills that Santiago still lives, that the man who brought to his faceless ones dreams of democracy and freedom gathers forces as he roams, getting ready to attack again. October 20, 1886. You sure took long enough coming back. What happened? You ready to give me a story?
Yeah, it's a small notice, I guess. You can say Clay Hollister just returned from a slightly prolonged weekend. He spent an enjoyable time with an old classmate and friend, who now makes his home in the mountains south of the border.
What really happened, Clay?
Did you ever read what this ring says, Harris? Let's add a line to that notice. You can say, Hollister was pleased to see that his friend still is true to the code of courage, honor, integrity.
Well, that's good enough for me.
Should be good enough for everybody.
Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory. Whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Huachuca and Tombstone, Arizona Territory. Three grimly determined men struggled with two strange objects to a high point overlooking the pass.
They ain't even gonna have a chance to scatter.
Yeah, you act like you can't wait to use it.
Stand back. Stand back.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened, in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone Territory.
Early morning, August 12th. The men carefully concealed their Gatling gun, the most vicious weapon of the times. 10 revolving barrels to spout death and destruction, capable of wiping out a whole detachment of men.
All right. Cold camp, no fires, and stay under cover till I get back.
When'll that be?
I don't know. I'll get more cartridges for the gun and find out when the Army's going to pick up that payroll money.
How sure are you that the Army will be traveling fast here?
They always use that road.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Toby. You know, you might get into trouble riding around with that hot temper of yours. Maybe you ought to take me with you, huh?
Maybe you ought to get off my back, Quince.
Sam Colby rode into Tombstone, intent on information concerning the Army payroll. When he saw me entering the Epitaph, he decided to seek other information. Colby. Hello, Sam.
Hello, Clyburn. Been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, a long time. You haven't changed much, Sam, being out of things for 5 years.
Well, I counted them. Kansas State Prison, but I've learned my lesson. I'll never try robbing a bank again. Clyburn, what happened to Sarah Medford?
Well, you didn't come all this way to ask me that, did you,
I
Sam?
didn't even know you were in this town.
You can't do yourself or Tombstone any good. Why don't you move on, Sam?
Well, the last time you said those words to me, we were in Belle Plaine, Kansas. You were running another crummy newspaper there, and you said I was no good for the town.
Or for her. I've got nothing against you, Sam. You've paid your price to society. If you need any money...
I don't want your money. I want to know where Sarah Medford is. You were her friend. She'd have written to you.
Forget her. You're not even sure if she's alive.
I've never been sure of anything in my life, except that someday I'm going to find her. Now, where is she?
I wouldn't tell you if I knew.
Now, baby, you... Maybe she's in Tombstone already. Is that it? Huh? All right, what's going on?
It's all right, Clay.
All right. What's your name? Colby. Sam Colby.
There are no charges, Clay. I'm not signing any complaint.
Oh, I suppose you two were just breaking up the place for exercise.
I'd consider it a favor if you wouldn't do anything about this, Clay. It's my problem.
You heard what the man said. It's his problem.
He said feed his horse, but don't take the saddle off.
Did he say where he came from?
No. Made a trip to the gun shop and back, then took off again.
A gun shop, huh? .45-70s.
What would he be doing with them?
Well, I don't know. The only thing they fit's the old single-shot carbine. Must have 300 rounds. Take him a long time to shoot those up one at a time.
You got enough deputies lined up. Stop any trouble. Stop worrying.
I'll stop worrying when the Army picks up that shipment of theirs.
Yeah. $50,000.
You just keep that badge of yours under your vest. I don't want anybody to know this town's planted.
Drown the memory of a bad breakfast. Who'd you say you were looking for, a man or woman?
Woman. I figure she may be in this town working as a seamstress.
What's her name?
Medford. Sarah Medford. She's real pretty. Dark black hair and beautiful brown eyes. When she talks, it's kind of like music.
They all sound like music, mister. A seamstress with black hair.
Yeah.
I know one.
Yeah?
Seems she is called Sarah.
Well, where is she?
You came a long way for nothing, maybe. This one's about to be married. Yeah, picked herself an army fella down at the fort.
Where's she live?
I think it's a greenhouse at the end of First Street.
Yeah, thanks.
But I can't just leave. What would Paul think? Where would I go?
There's a night coach leaving for Bisbee. Paul isn't due back here for 3 days. You told me yourself he's on special duty at the fort all this week. I'm sticking in my 2 cents, Sarah, because I don't want to see you have to face this town if Sam Colby brings out the past. Don't stay here and pay for it twice.
All right, Harris.
You can stay with my sister Anne. Return here on Sunday. Colby should be gone by then.
Harris, how is he? How does he look?
What?
Oh, I'm not in love with him anymore. I don't have to prove that to you. Paul and I are going to start a new life together, and I wouldn't change that for anything in the world.
Hello, Sarah. Clyburn, you always lie to visitors when they come to town. Get out.
Leave her alone, Sam.
It's all right, Harris. It's all right.
All right, Sarah.
Well, you better have a drink on this. After 5 years, looks like I got here just in time.
Our time ran out a long time ago, Sam.
All heard you were about to get married. Well, that's no problem. No man ever gets anything without taking it from another.
That's what you thought when you asked me to marry you. That we'd start out on money you robbed from a bank.
Only one mistake, and you run out on me.
Why did it have to be that one?
Why didn't you wait for me?
For you to get out of jail? And promise me again you'd take a job and stop being wild?
Oh, honey, you used to love me for being wild.
So we'll move on. And you'll start over once more. We'll find a new life somewhere further out west. Is that it?
We'll make it this time. They'll just leave us alone. Talk about luck. You come into town for one thing and you find another.
If you didn't know I was here, what are you doing in Tombstone?
For one fancy big payroll, that's all I need. And from then on, it's a straight and narrow for you and me. Well, think of it, $50,000. That'll buy you a lot of pearl button shoes from St. Louis. That'll give you a big red dress with 1,000,000 yards of lace on it.
Another robbery? Is that what you're offering me, Sam? Face it, you're no good. You're no good.
Colby said to keep it covered.
Why don't you stop telling me what Colby said? Yeah, they won't even know what hit him. Let's keep him, Colby.
You're getting real itchy, ain't you, Quince?
I don't trust him. How come he knew about that Army payroll being in Tombstone? Yet he didn't know when they were picking it up.
Well, how much information do you want him to have? It was lucky that when he broke into that stage office last week that he saw the manifest. If he hadn't, he wouldn't even have known that they were shipping the money. Where are you going?
Going into Tombstone, get myself a drink.
He ain't gonna like it.
I hope he tries to tell me that.
Late morning, August 12, 1886.
Hello, Harris.
Well, it seems to be going smoothly enough. You worry too much about these payroll transfers.
Maybe. What do you know about Colby over there?
Well, what do you mean? What do I know?
Paul! Oh, Harris! It's all yours, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Clay.
My pleasure. I'll just bill the Army for my 3 extra deputies.
Fair enough. Prepare them out.
So you're the one drew the assignment this time. Didn't expect you in for another 3 days.
This is official business and a quick trip. Tell Sarah I'll see her Sunday, huh?
Be glad to.
Paul. You weren't leaving.
I'm afraid so, darling. There really wasn't time to come by. What's the matter?
Nothing. I just want you to hold me for a moment.
Something wrong.
No, I'm just glad to see you. Why are you in town anyway?
Quick assignment. $50,000 payroll for the fort. Now I've got to go. See you Sunday.
Wagon hold! Single escort, place away!
50,000. Paul, wait! Don't go! You can't go!
right, Harris. What do you know about Colby?
Well, I knew him and Sarah back in Belle Plaine, Kansas.
Yeah?
Everybody thought they'd be married. Then Colby robbed a bank. Some thought she harbored him. He got caught and sent to prison. Anyway, she got a bad name.
Well, for a newspaper man, you're kind of close with your information.
Well, then when I came to Tombstone, she followed me. Her folks were dead. She had no other family. Guess I was her only friend. Then she met Paul Crane.
Well, why all the secrecy?
Whatever mistakes she made back in Belle Plaine lie buried. That's why I didn't want anything to come out in the open here.
I don't know.
Sam. I'll go away with you, Sam. I'll go away with you tonight. There's only one thing I'm asking. Don't rob that payroll.
You mean you want me even without money?
This time you don't have to do anything. No robberies.
You really do love him, don't you, Sarah? You'd do anything to save his life.
I'll never leave you, Sam. If only you'll do as I ask.
All right. Go home and pack. I'll pick you up tonight.
Is everything all right?
Everything is just fine. Yes, sir, just fine.
Anything you want to tell me?
No.
Hey, Amos, saddle up Mormon for me, will you?
You bet.
Well, he's leaving town. That's good.
Yeah? With a saddlebag full of 45-70s?
Afternoon, August 12th. The payroll wagon under heavy guard left Tombstone on a roundabout road to Fort Huachuca. Quince rode hard to bypass the payroll wagon and set up the ambush with a deadly Gatling gun.
About time you were getting back. Where's Colby?
He'll be here. If you don't, all the better.
After his conversation with Sarah Medford, there was a strange determination about Sam Colby's ride.
Detail, halt!
Deliberation marked each mile of Lieutenant Crane's journey. Scouts were sent in ahead through every ravine as a precaution.
Forward! Ho! far are they?
Oh, about a half a mile, maybe. Come on, let's get those clips.
Clay Hollister, puzzled by Colby's actions, trailed the ex-convict. His suspicions grew as he observed that Colby and another rider were paralleling the route taken by the military detachment.
All right, where are the cartridges, Colby?
The deal's off.
What?
The Army's not taking the money through this way. They took it to Fort Huachuca by stage. You can topple that thing into the canyon for all the good it's gonna do us. Sorry, boys. Looks like we just run out of luck. Maybe we'll get together on something sometime, huh?
Will we, Colby? Who are you trying to double-cross? I seen him pick up that money, Colby. I seen him! Colby, I was in Tombstone.
I wouldn't use it, Quince.
Oh, I'm gonna chop you up real good, Colby.
You shoot that gun, you won't have a chance. They're not so far away that they won't hear it.
He's right. Let him go, let him go. He won't get 100 yards. Here, let's get this gun around.
Clay suddenly came upon Colby, who had made it to the bottom of the pass with Quince's knife in his back.
Army payroll. Gatling gun up there. Tell Sarah I didn't.
There they come. Another 50 yards.
Take cover! Who's shooting at him? Spreading out! Get around! Somebody we're after!
Gatling gun?
Army will be glad to get it back.
Bill, Jenkins, bring that gun down here. Never would have made it if you hadn't fired those warning shots.
First time I ever drew down on the U.S. Army. Gun shoots a little high.
How'd you know about that?
I didn't know about it. I followed a hunch. And a man.
It's a good thing you did. I'll check with you Sunday. I'm coming in to see Sarah.
She'll be glad to see you.
Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory. If your past has run afoul of the law, it's a handy place to be. 'Cause your future's just as good as your draw in Tombstone territory. Whistle me up a memory, whistle me back where I wanna be. Whistle a tune that'll carry me to Tombstone territory.
Show you how I used to keep order in Deadwood. You wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you?
No. But I'm still going to stop you.
Sorry, Sheriff. But you're meeting a man that knows every fighting trick in the book.
An actual account from the pages of my newspaper, the Tombstone Epitaph. This is the way it happened in the town too tough to die.
Tombstone territory.
Trouble visited Tombstone the morning of July 10, 1885, when the Black Marshal of Deadwood rode into town.
Harris? Come here.
You know who that is?
Well, up jumped the devil.
Looks like his arrival's going to make the front page.
It sure will.
Who's the rival?
What's more important is what's he doing here, and who's he after? Who do you suppose he is after, Clay?
Well, looks like he's after you. He's headed this way.
Gosh, Mr. Clyburn, who is he?
The Black Marshal of Deadwood arrives in Tombstone. Daggett, reputedly one of the toughest and most brutal marshals in the Western Territory.
That might be libel, mightn't it?
Not if it's the truth.
A man ought to be careful what he prints.
A man ought to be careful what he does. You've made my paper before, Daggett. The Postel brothers.
They was robbing a bank.
Well, they must have been mighty hard to capture. You shot all three of them.
Who are you hunting?
No badge. No hunting. And no news.
There's been no news ever since you left Deadwood almost a year ago.
I've been moving around.
Looking for something.
All right. I'm gonna live here. Settle down. That is, if you got no objections.
I got no objections if you settle down.
You printing your paper about me coming here. You're just asking for trouble. Sure, I handled a lot of wild ones in my time. I treat them rough. I hate them all. But if you advertise about me being here, some of the survivors are liable to come here to try and get me. In which case, I'd just mess up your whole town, sweeping up the streets with.
You don't much sound like a man about to settle down.
Just because I'm going to settle down don't mean I'm a setting duck.
What does it mean, Daggett?
Sheriff, you're looking at a rancher. I just bought me a little spread.
Cattle?
Cattle comes later.
Well, what about right now?
Chickens.
You mean a Black Marshal of Deadwood who's here to raise eggs?
Yeah. And that means there ain't no news.
I'm sorry, Daggett. But that is news. That is a story.
Don't print it.
You believe his story?
Of course not. You?
I don't know. He might be ready to settle down. And then again, he might not.
Was that really the Black Marshal?
Floor all swept, Ben?
No, sir. Well, is it true that he lost count and quit notching his gun?
You're still not very interested in becoming a journalist, are you?
Well, none of it means sweeping the floor all the time, Mr. Clyburn. Sweeping's for ladies.
Something else is bothering you, Ben. What is it?
Vacation's over soon. I have to go back to school.
Well, don't you like school?
Yeah, I like it all right. But after school, I sweep up for the teacher, too. I guess I'll have to be a sweeper.
July 14, 1885. When a bundle of the epitaphs was tossed off at Silver City, one reader showed an unusual interest in the article about the Black Marshal. The afternoon of July 14.
You shouldn't come up quiet like that. My man's blindside. Well, this will help the fire. Grass and leaves are damp.
Just a minute. Something on the front page you might want to look at.
So he's in Tombstone.
Where you going?
Where do you think I'm going? I can still see to shoot the man that left me this way.
Yeah, I had all the stuff sent up in his place on Cottonwood Creek. Here's everything.
Clay Hollister learned that Daggett had purchased an unusual amount of ammunition for a man who claimed he was becoming a rancher. He rode out to investigate Daggett's true intentions.
Hold your arm looser, not so tight. It wasn't your fault you missed that shot. This gun shoots high. I gotta fix the sights.
You better go on back to town. Mr. Clyburn's looking for you.
There ain't no law on teaching a kid how to handle a gun, is there?
There might be, unless you got a good reason.
Well, I got a reason. The hawks is bothering my chickens. I'm gonna pay that boy a bounty. 5 cents for every hawk and 2 cents for every rat. First, I gotta teach him how to shoot a gun. You don't believe that, do you?
You're a rough man, Daggett. Kind of hard to believe that the Black Marshal is turned into a rancher.
Ah, shoot! Shoot! Get out!
Well, maybe you are a rancher, but it doesn't seem like you like it.
Of course I don't like it. It's too quiet out here.
Quiet?
Sure. For 30 years, I had a whole flock of people to protect. I did my job.
And now you're protecting a flock of chicken.
No, I guess in a way I'm still chasing rats. Only now it's the four-legged kind.
Remember that. The two-legged kind are my job.
Noon of July 15. 2 riders closed the miles to Tombstone. July 16, 1885.
4, 5, 6. 6 hawks.
Thanks, Mr. Daggett. I don't think I'll be out tomorrow. I don't think there's another hawk in the territory.
Oh, I don't know. I seen one of them gliding around this morning.
Flapping its wings?
No, just kind of gliding along like it was going to set down.
Well, that must be a buzzard.
That ain't no buzzard. There ain't nothing dead out there.
Well, except 6 hawks.
Look, where there's chickens, there's hawks, live hawks. And I expect you to take care of them for me. I think maybe you better come on out tomorrow, huh?
Thanks.
Hello, Harris. Well, Clay, look at this. Order from Daggett for an ad to be run weekly till further notice.
What's it about?
Eggs for sale. Just gives the location of the ranch, no name.
No, there's something funny here.
Hmm?
Can't hardly read his writing. I've got an order from him on my desk signed while he was still marshal. It wasn't copperplate, but at least it was legible.
You think maybe he's not Daggett?
Oh, no, he's Daggett, all right. Maybe he's just not the same Daggett he once was.
Daggett!
Where did they get you?
In the wrist.
It didn't heal?
Broke all the cords.
That's why you have Jackie to shoot the hawks.
Well, I'm too old to learn with my left hand.
Why do you keep carrying the gun?
Well, they find out I'm crippled, I'm dead.
I guess you're right. You made a lot of enemies.
I was born with enemies. Never done nothing about it. Never could and won't now.
Why didn't you settle down in some eastern city? Someplace you'd be safe.
Oh, that's kind of hard to answer.
Well, go ahead and try.
Well, you take a sea captain. He's going to retire. Where do you think he'd settle down? In Dodge City or maybe in Nantucket?
Just can't keep away from the action, huh?
I figured if I couldn't be part of it, at least I could see it unfold. So here I am in Tombstone.
Well, you can't see much from Boot Hill.
I figured this was the best place for protection. People tell me Sheriff Hollister does a pretty good job.
With you in town, he'll have to do a better one.
Well, I better get going. Oh, Sheriff, why don't you drop out to my shack some night for some grub? I'll tell you how I used to handle the hard cases in Deadwood. Maybe give you some pointers, and we can talk about old times. That is, if you don't mind talking about old times.
I don't get much time to talk.
All right, Sheriff. Protect the citizens and count me in. Tombstone's got a new citizen. Come on.
Wonder how long we can keep him.
July 16, 1885.
We're looking for a man named Daggett.
Mr. Daggett, the old marshal?
Where is he?
I don't know. Comes in here every Friday night for one drink. Just one. Every Friday evening.
Alone?
Yeah, always alone. He don't seem to have any friends.
He's been pretty busy making enemies.
Harris, you got anything on Tom Grady and the Kenley kid?
Grady and Kenley?
Yeah, they just rode in. I got a hunch they're not sightseeing. Looking at Deadwood.
Deadwood? You think they might be down from there?
I think they spent some time there.
Well, your hunch is right. Grady and Kenley, arrested 2 years ago in Deadwood.
I guess we know why they're in town. Well, you getting yourself all duded up. You headed for town?
What do you want?
A couple of riders drifted in. A man by the name of Grady and the other one called the Kenley Kid. Friends of yours.
I ain't got no friends, remember?
Well, let's call them customers then.
What, I'm wearing a black patch on one eye?
I found him hanging around Deadwood just about the time a gold shipment was coming into the bank.
And you jumped to conclusions.
I jumped and I was right. Kenley tried to resist and I had to manhandle him.
The black patch.
So now he's trying again.
Do you know any good reason I can lock him up?
Sure. To protect him.
They're not going to need any protection tonight.
I'm in the habit of going to town every Friday night for one drink.
Now you've had your Friday drink, stay here.
And tend the chickens? You think the two outlaws are going to make me hide?
Nope. But I sure hope I can.
Well, you ain't going to dictate to me.
How about telling me what's inside you, Daggett?
Oh, a whole lot of hate, I guess. Been in here for 30 years. You see, Sheriff, I never was much of a ladies' man. You can tell that by this ugly face of mine. But once I met the prettiest girl in the whole territory. And she didn't want no ladies' man. She wanted a big, ugly, uneducated guy like me. An outlaw killed her the day before we was to get married. That's hate.
Well, sure, go ahead and hate him all you want. But even if that wrist had healed, you still couldn't do anything about it. This is my territory, remember? If you're going to live here, you better live peaceably. Time for you to relax. And don't go out tonight.
I see you got one friend.
I'll see you around. But not tonight. I thought you'd already had your Friday drink.
Now, you listen. I ain't interested in no drink, and I wasn't interested in staying home. I'm too old a dog to learn new tricks, like hiding from a couple of punk gunslingers. I handled them for 30 years, and I ain't about to hide from them now. Now, you get out of my way.
It's time you stop pushing people around.
All right, mister, it's Friday night. When does he show?
Oh, about now.
But it's my job to keep order in Tombstone.
Don't you tell me about order. I got my own methods for that.
Well, I got my methods, too, and you're now under protective arrest. I'm going to lock you up for the night.
All right.
Inside.
Now I'm going to show you how I used to keep order in Deadwood. You wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you?
No. But I'm still going to stop you.
Sorry, Sheriff. But you're meeting a man that knows every fighting trick in the book. Now I know how it feels.
Yeah. It's a rough business we're in. I know how it feels, too. Now, you stay here. I'm gonna go round up your playmates, get them out of town.
Well, I guess you mean it.
I see by your paper there's a man named Daggett settled here in Tombstone.
Well?
We want to buy a dozen eggs. Maybe you can tell us where Mr. Daggett's place is.
Excuse me just a minute, gentlemen. Ben, I think the place needs sweeping out. Good and clean. Do you know where the broom is?
I'll find it, Mr. Clyburn.
Now, I believe you said Daggett. Daggett.
You want us to spell it for you?
No.